Hello. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, Jack. How you
Good
doing?
morning, Kyle. How are you today?
I'm good on this beautiful Saturday morning on Cape Breton Island.
Certainly,
Yes.
it certainly is a little cool though, but it's a nice day.
Yeah, I already did my walk, a walk this morning.
Okay.
There's no mosquitoes. Let's just say that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a good.
yeah. Little chilly still,
Oh,
but it's a
absolutely.
beautiful morning.
Oh, absolutely. But first of all, thanks so much for asking me to do this today. I mean, I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's an honor, considering all the people that you've interviewed from all around the world. It's a real honor for me to get to be on your program today, Jack.
Oh, my pleasure, Kyle. My pleasure. First question. Can you share can you share your motivation behind organizing the MS Walk in Cape Breton?
Yes. Well, as you know, there had not been an MS walk in Cape Breton since before the COVID-19 pandemic. So I reached out to MS Canada to see if anyone locally was organizing one for 2024. And when they said there was no one, I decided it was something that I wanted to do for the Cape Breton MS community. I am motivated to organize this because I think it is important to bring people together who are going through similar experiences. And when you bring people with MS together, they can share ideas and discuss with people who understand what it's like to have MS. And raising money is important to do, but just as important is the lifting one another up, supporting each other, and inspiring one another. And I always felt that whenever I went to an MS walk in the past. So I'm really hoping to recreate that and have that again in Cape Breton. And it's not just a Sydney walk, it's not a Glace Bay walk, it's not a Waterford walk, it's not a Bedeck walk. It's for all of Cape Breton. And I really hope having it in North Sydney this year, being sort of central to all the four counties, that we will see people come from all over the island because MS is in every single community on the island.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And with that being said, exactly, Kyle, the estimate of how many people around, not just Cape Breton, but around the world who suffer with this. I mean, it's like, it must be a million.
Well, yes, Canada has some of the highest rates actually in the world. On average, 12 Canadians are diagnosed with MS every day, and over 90,000 Canadians live with MS. And the onset of MS is typically between the ages of 20 to 49, and women are actually three times more likely to be diagnosed with MS than men. So it's quite high here in Atlantic Canada. And just in my own little circle of my and my husband's community of people that we know of at least eight people just in the friends and family and network alone with MS. And then if you ask them, they also know a little bit more people. So it's quite prominent here on Cape Breton.
Wow. What strategies have you implemented to raise awareness about the MS walk in your community?
To raise awareness, we have had the support of really great community-minded broadcasters such as yourself, Jack, and Kaylee Radio have been very supportive. Bill Bradley and the Coast 89.7. You probably know Bill. He's been a big supporter. The Coast, as I said, grassroots newspapers like Northside Community News. Sherry Mully McDonald from the Cape Breton Post just did an excellent story on Wednesday about the walk, which I was very pleased to see, and she featured it in one of her columns. I am also trying for this walk to be an opportunity to showcase the best of our community and the good things happening on Cape Breton. And for example, I reached out to Amanda Evans at Haley Street, who I think you know quite well, Jack,
Oh, yeah.
uh, as a team member there at Haley Street. And I knew that they were doing an art program just recently. One of the staff there had introduced that to some of the team members. And I asked if they would be interested in painting some pictures to decorate the Americenter where the walk will be held. And right away, there was no doubt, Amanda jumped on board right away. And the team members out there I know are putting their heart and soul into making some really inspiring and motivating and loving pictures. And I look forward to seeing them and having them decorate the Americenter.
Wow.
Also, we're very lucky to have the Turnbull brothers going to be joining us. They were finalists in Canada's Got Talent, and they're going to be singing "Oh Canada," as well as we're going to try to get them to stick around for a tune or two. And Max Murphy is an up and coming young musician who is such a joy to listen to. He will be playing during registration, so we're looking forward to having Max sing for us. Corey Katz, a local photographer who has MS. He did an exhibit during Lumiere a few years ago, and I reached out to Corey to see if maybe he could recreate that exhibit. And it focuses a lot on MRI scans. And getting an MRI is something the word you'll hear a lot when you have MS, that the neurologist will want to send you for an MRI to see if your lesions are staying the same, or if they've gotten bigger, or if you have new ones. So Corey's going to have that exhibit, which I'm really excited to see. And I've reached out to our local MS clinic, and they're going to be on hand with some information about MS. And we're going to have a fitness instructor there to warm up all the walkers because don't want anybody getting injured. And there's just going to be a lot of fun. Anybody with children, please bring their teddy bears because we're going to have nurses there going to do a teddy bear clinic, and they will be assessing your bear. If your bear needs stitches, maybe your bear needs a band-aid, maybe your bear just needs a hug. We'll be there for that. So it's a family-friendly event. We're really looking for it to be quality time spent by people who love one another, and we just want it to be an inspiring, motivating, and loving walk. And we're just happy to be back. We're just happy to be back having it on Cape Breton again.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, and it's so nice that you guys are doing this. I mean, with the number of people, as you just mentioned, Kyle, suffering with MS every day, this is definitely a great cause.
Well, thank you, Jack. Yes. And there's lots of walks all over Cape Breton this time of year, and they're all truly very important to that cause. And I support all of them as well. And we're just hoping to find our way this year and find our way back. And then next year will hopefully be even bigger and better. But we're just trying to get back and welcome people back to MS Walk in Cape Breton.
Wow. Um, how do you handle the logistical aspect of organizing an event like the MS Walk?
Well, with an MS Walk, you want the location to be accessible to everyone, and Americenter is definitely that. We'll be on the arena level. The ice is out, so nobody will have to bring their skates. You'll just have to have your sneakers for this walk, and and it's going to be a safe walk. We're actually going to be traveling over to a track that is named in honor of somebody who was going to get emotional now, but it was very inspiring to me um, actually as a patient at the IWK hospital, and that would be the Carmen Young track. And her family is actually going through some MS as well in their own family. So it's like a full circle moment, really, to have been at a Carmen Young walk before, and now we're having an MS walk on the Carmen Young track. So yeah, it's really she was very inspiring to me and a hero of mine. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, sorry.
No, that's quite all right, Kyle. Take your time. It's all good. Um, I
Yes.
never.
I'll just mention that there's a lot of volunteers coming forward for the logistical aspect of it, who are making my job easier, and the committee that we have. Cyril McDonald and Kayla McDonald have jumped on board, and I think you know Cyril from the Special Olympics and
Yeah.
various things, and you know how hard Cyril works in the community. So we're happy to have him on board to help out and to reach out to many of his contacts. So that's making my job easier as well. And there are going to be activities, like I said, for all ages. And we have some community mascots that are going to be joining us on the walk as well. Tappy from ACAP Cape Breton will be joining us, as well Screech from the Cape Breton Eagles. And there's going to be lots more. So it's going to be a fun day. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And registration, Kyle, is at 12 o'clock on that
It
day?
starts at 12:30. Yeah,
12:30.
12:30 at Americenter.
Okay.
The opening ceremonies will be at approximately 2 p.m.
Okay.
And you can also register online ahead of time at MS Walks. Just want to make sure it's .ca. Yes,
Okay.
mswalks.ca. And you just click on the location button, go under Atlantic Canada, and then you would click on Cape Breton, and you can either donate to somebody that's walking, or join a team, or start your own team. The more the merrier. We really look forward to having lots of people come out for this walk.
Okay, excellent. Now, I don't know if you have, but just in case, next question is, what challenges have you encountered during the preparation progress, and how did you overcome them?
I think, Jack, the biggest challenge about this walk is just living with MS every day.
Right.
It's very hard to plan. You never know. This disease is very unpredictable, and you never know when a symptom is going to happen, or you're going to have a flare up or a relapse. So that's the biggest challenge, and trying not to stress, like trying to stay in the moment. You want to do so many things, and you just get excited because more people are hopping on board, or you get more donations, and you get excited about that. But you just sort of have to really not be too stressed. Just take it day by day, and know that you're going to get there, and the finish line is in sight. And Cape Breton is very generous, and Cape Breton is very supportive of anything happening. And I have no doubt that Cape Bretoners are going to show up for this walk, as well as all the other walks happening in Cape Breton, because that's just what Cape Breton does. It knows how to give back, and we're very well known for that.
Oh, absolutely. Kyle, could you share a success story from a previous MS Walk event you organized?
Well, Jack, this is my first walk actually that I can only speak of this one,
Okay.
but I think what I'm most proud of for this walk is that it's going to be honoring and remembering Carl McLeod. He was a long time MS volunteer in Cape Breton, and Carl passed away just this past winter. And Carl was a beacon of hope and unity to so many people. If you know anything about MS, you knew Carl McLeod. Uh, if there was something happening for MS, Carl McLeod was there. If there was an ask, Carl McLeod was the guy asking the question. Carl McLeod was a beacon of hope and unity to so many people. Through his initiatives like the Transformative Carnation Campaign and the MS Christmas cake, fruit cake campaign, he used to sell them in the tins. There was no way you didn't have one at Christmas if Carl was in the mall or Carl was going anywhere with them. Everybody had one. He was very big his in the community of MS. His wife actually was diagnosed and passed away from MS, and then Carl picked up that torch, and he wanted to make sure that nobody else had to go through what he went through with his own wife and his own experience. And Carl, in his life, raised over 350,000 plus for MS research in just in Cape Breton alone. And he brought the MS community closer together in the shared quest for a cure. And whenever I feel overwhelmed or stressed, and I don't think I can do this, I think of Carl a lot, and I am motivated to not give up. I need to carry on the legacy of Carl and so many other great people who worked so hard for the MS community in Cape Breton before me. And I am just the person taking the torch and hoping to carry it forward. And I know I come from a long history of very devoted, dedicated people who worked for MS in Cape Breton. And so I feel very fortunate to get to be that torchbearer.
Well, that's absolutely amazing, Kyle. And what can I say? As mentioned in earlier in our conversation, how many people who suffer with this every day. I mean, I know people who have suffered it too. I mean, but it's there's so many side effects to it too, right? I mean, um,
Yes, what a lot of people don't know and realize is that when you look at me, you might not know right away that I have MS, but you don't know all the things that might be happening health-wise to me that you don't see. And there's a lot of people with diseases that, like I think of fibromyalgia, I think of lupus. There's a lot of diseases that just looking at someone, you can't distinguish that,
no,
hey, they look sick, that they have MS. You would never know. But people with MS have symptoms such as tingling and numbness that you wouldn't see,
no,
mood and cognitive changes. At least that's what I blame some of my mood switches on sometimes. My MS must be acting up, Jack. That must be
right,
what it is.
right.
But mobility issues also happen, vision problems. People have a lot of underlying pain. as well as weakness or imbalance. And some people start off with MS and they might go like for years without having a flare up or relapse. And then other people seem to have a very progressive form of MS and their mobility might decline right away and they might have to use a cane or a wheelchair. So it affects a lot of people different. It's very unpredictable and there's no known cure for it. So that's what a lot of the research money that comes from these walks is hoping to find a cure one day so that a doctor doesn't have to tell them that you also have MS. And wouldn't that be a wonderful thing
Yeah.
if a day came
Oh,
where
wow.
MS wasn't in our community?
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, it would be. It would be. But unfortunately, there is no cure, but there are medications that can ease the pain, right? So,
That's right.
yeah.
Yes, and I'm on a medication that is supposed to try to slow down the progression, and there's been a lot of advancement in research because of MS Canada and because of dollars raised at things such as the MS Watts that are finding better methods of treatment, ones that are easier to do. Right now, I take a needle every single day of my life, and I've been doing that since 2009.
Wow.
So, yeah, you start to run out of spots to put that needle after a while, Jack, after
Yes.
this many years
Oh, yeah.
uh, of taking a needle. And there's pill forms now, which, after many studies, have reduced in side effects as well for people. So we are making waves, and people are finding better ways of living with MS.
Wow. Do you have any success stories you could share? You could share from a previous walk you organized? I mean, any stories?
Yes, I was talking about that one just earlier. That
Oh, it's Carl. Carl, yes.
Carl.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. What role does community play in the success of the MS Walk?
Well, Jack, without the community, there would be no walk.
Oh,
There'd be no walk.
absolutely.
And yeah, there'd be no walk. And the MS, if you know someone with MS, you know one person with MS really because everybody's symptoms are so different. Um, and it's important that everybody comes out and walks and feels comfortable on that day.
Oh, absolutely. How do you motivate volunteers and team members to actively participate in the walk?
Yes, the hardest part about it was mostly to just let people know that the walk is back because of COVID-19 and because of various things. We sort of got away from having the walk, so I'm excited to be able to bring it back and for people to fundraise again. And hopefully, we can get lots of people out. And to keep them volunteers and participants updated, I have an MS Walk Cape Breton Facebook page. And on there, we share a lot of good news stories with them. And it's important to create excitement amongst the walkers. And so I'm always updating them, letting them know that, like, actually tomorrow will be a month away from the walk. So, get out there, get your teams fundraising, um, ask your friends, family to join your team, and we all win when we are successful at this walk. Everybody wins from this walk.
Oh, absolutely. What innovative ideas have you introduced to enhance the MS Walk experience for participants?
Well, I tried for it to be a very family friendly event, to be very inclusive of every member of our community, whether that's somebody with disabilities or it's somebody that is just been diagnosed for the first time. I want to make the walk inspiring, celebratory, and full of love. And I'd like to honor at this walk, like I said, people like Carol McLeod who stepped up for our MS community and welcome in all the Cape Bretoners who have heard a doctor tell them that you have MS. Let them know that they are not alone. And we as an MS community know that what they are going through, and we want to support them on their journey with this disease.
Wow, that's well said. Definitely well said. And the most, I find the more support with any disease, especially MS, it kind of relieves the stress knowing that we have that support.
Right. And there's people you can talk to. And I have unofficially sort of been somebody, because I've been in the media about this walk, or for other reasons that I've been in the newspaper. People seem to reach out to me and they feel very comfortable to talk to me about what they're going through, and I'm feel very fortunate to be that friend to them and to be a friend of the MS community. And I look forward to seeing lots of other people out there on May 26th at Amera Center. And yeah, the more that come out, the better it will be.
Now, to register, just a question on the registration that's taking place at 12:30 that day. Is there a fee that they'll have to pay?
No, no, Jack, there's no fee. Just bring yourself and bring your friends, family,
Mhm.
and you can register, like I said, online at mswalks.ca. And on there, you can set up your own little fundraising page. And then you can promote that on your Facebook or in emails. And people will log in and either join you as a walker to do the walk, or they get to donate to you. And the MS Canada will issue an official tax receipt, all credit card donations that go in through that method.
Fantastic. Now we're on to our last question. What message would you like to convey to potential participants and supporters of the MS Walk?
Yeah, no, the big message is to ask anyone living with MS anywhere in Cape Breton, or who love or care for someone with MS, to join us on Sunday, May 26th at Amera Center, North Sydney. Um, Registration, like I said, begins at 12:30 p.m. The opening ceremony will start at 2 p.m. with our MC, Bill Bradley. And we'll have the Turnbull brothers there, Max Murphy. There'll be other music. There'll be a fitness instructor warming up the walkers. There'll be food. It's going to be a fun day, and you can register at msspwalk.donordrive.com. And we need everyone to take action and create impact at Cape Breton MS Walk 2024. So come one, come all. Yeah,
Excellent, Kyle. Well, Kyle Peterson, thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it on this special event to support the MS Walk that's taking place at the Ameri Center on May 26th. Thanks so much, Kyle.
that's right. Thank you so much, Jack. It was an honor. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Take care.